Greetings from what is the largest sukkah in Chicago, or what I like to say is the largest sukkah in Chicago. Am I sure that it is? No, but no one has proven that it is not. So greetings from what may very well be the largest sukkah in Chicago. To understand the features of the sukkah this year, with the second year we've had some adaptations to the sukkah to provide greater COVID safety through airflow. We first have to go back to Immanuel Kant, the German philosopher, who undertook a Copernican revolution in the conception of how our minds create knowledge and organize knowledge of the outside world. Kant understood that there are certain a priori concepts that we don't really derive from our encounter with nature, but which help us understand the natural world, or the world that we encounter. So, for example, mathematical facts are not things that we can learn from nature. They're sort of abstract a priori concepts, 2 and 4 and addition, etc. And what happens is that our a priori ideas, Kant understood, are actually like imposed on the world rather than the other direction as had been understood before him. And this is a background for understanding the thought, the halachic thought of Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik in one of his masterpiece essays, Isha Halacha, Halachic Man, which is available in English translation as well as in a Hebrew original. He writes very similarly about the way that one who studies Torah and studies it well can understand from the Torah concepts that are abstract and then are imposed on the outside world when the halachic individual, the individual who studies Torah, who sees the world through the prism of the Torah that we study, that imposes those concepts on the world. So two of the concepts that are applicable in our sukkah, one is the concept of lavud, and one is the concept of gud asik. Lavud means that from a halachic perspective, gaps that are less than 3 tzvachim, that are less than 3 hands breadths apart, are considered to be filled in, and so that's true for a halachic barrier. That would be true for the sukkah wall. It's true for an eruv boundary, and so our sukkah wall is not a canvas. It's not wood. Our sukkah wall is this plastic lattice where the gaps between the spacing is each one much less than 3 tzvachim, 3 hands breadths, and so it's considered as though that lattice work, that plastic barrier, construction fencing, were solid. Now you'll notice that it doesn't go, even if you imagine it to be solid, even if electrically it's considered as though it's solid, it doesn't go all the way up to the schach, up to the sukkah covering, and that brings us to another halachic concept called gud asik. When a wall is extended, any wall that is 10 tzvachim, that is 10 handbreadths from the ground, about 38 inches at least, let's say, is considered to extend halachically all the way up to the sky. And so the sukkah walls are quite a bit more than 10 tzvachim tall off the ground, and halachically, therefore, they're considered to extend all the way to the sky, and they certainly, therefore, meet up with the schach, meet up with the sukkah covering. In that way, our sukkah has maximum airflow for maximum safety, and also it gets to be an example where we can understand and display and internalize and experience these halachic concepts. These halachic concepts are what allow our eruv to be kosher each week. These halachic concepts come up in many other areas of halakha and halachic thought and halachic study, and here they are at play in our sukkah as well. I hope to see you in our sukkah, hope to see you in shul, and hope to hear from you through other medium as is appropriate. I wish you all a very, very joyous Sukkot. It was so wonderful to celebrate with so many of you over the first set of our holiday season, and I hope to celebrate with even more of you in the coming days. Chag Sameach, and be well.